From an animal that looks like a zebra but is actually related to the giraffe, to a fish with a transparent head, including others like this peculiar bird, a fish with a massive mouth, and many more. These are 15 weirdest animals ever discovered. But before we get started, subscribe now before I become famous. Number 15. Okapi. Imagine an animal that looks like it's wearing zebra-striped stockings, but isn't a zebra. Meet the okapi. This unique creature with its velvety brown body and distinctively striped legs is a sight to behold. But here's the twist. It's not related to zebras at all. Instead, its closest relative is the giraffe. Surprised? Let's dive deeper. The okapi is a master of disguise, hiding in the dense rainforests of Central Africa. Its peculiar appearance is a blend of both its giraffe cousin and the unrelated zebra. Those zebra-like stripes on its legs and rear aren't just for show, they help the okapi blend into the dappled sunlight of its forest home. But the okapi's uniqueness doesn't stop at its appearance. It has a long, prehensile tongue so flexible and lengthy that it can lick its own ears. Despite its standout looks, the okapi is a master of hide-and-seek. It's so elusive that it wasn't even recognized as a distinct species until the 1900s. And while it might be common in its limited habitat, the outside world knew little about it for the longest time. Now, while some might call it the forest zebra because of its stripes, remember it's more of a forest giraffe. With its mix of giraffe-like and zebra features, it truly stands out as one of nature's most intriguing animals. Number 14. Tarsier. Have you ever seen an animal with eyes nearly the size of its brain? Let me introduce you to the tarsier, a primate shrouded in mystery. These nocturnal creatures are native to the Southeast Asian islands. But why are they so intriguing? Well, those colossal eyes aren't just for show, they help tarsiers see in the dark, capturing every photon possible. But here's the catch. Their eyes are so huge they can't move them. Instead, like an owl, tarsiers can rotate their heads a full 180 degrees to see in any direction. Now that's flexibility. Tarsiers are the only totally carnivorous primates in the world. While you may think of primates eating fruit or leaves, these little guys feast on meat, insects, birds, and even bats. They ambush their prey with quick, silent pounces. With their elongated fingers and toes tipped in sticky pads, tarsiers are expert climbers, but they aren't just climbers, they're incredible jumpers too. With their muscular hind legs, they can leap 40 times their body length in one bound. That's like a human jumping the length of a basketball court. Despite their fierce hunting skills, tarsiers are extremely shy. Bright lights, loud sounds, or even human touch can stress them out. In fact, captivity is so harmful to them that many don't survive. But the most fascinating fact about tarsiers is their ancient lineage. They're among the oldest primates on Earth, with a history stretching back at least 55 million years. Once they roamed widely from North America to Europe. Today, sadly, they're limited to Southeast Asia and at risk of extinction. Number 13. Bush baby. Check out the bush baby. Those eyes are so big they practically take up half its face. These nocturnal wonders, also known as galagos, hail from the African savannas. With satellite dish ears and dinner plate-sized eyes, they look like critters from a fairy tale. But don't let those Bambi eyes fool you. Bush babies can really leap, bouncing from tree to tree, hunting down their next meal. Bush babies are built for the nightlife. Their eyes point forward to let in maximum light for nighttime tree foraging, and they'll eat just about anything. Fruits, bugs, tree sap, some even snack on small critters like birds. These primates have adapted to diverse habitats from rainforests to deserts. Each species has uniquely evolved to match its home. The tiny, lesser bush babies, for example, are crazy agile and can dart through trees like ninjas. But their most amazing skill? Listening. Their huge mobile ears can swivel independently, tracking prey with one ear while listening for predators with the other. And they have plenty of enemies like mongoose, owls, and snakes. Bush baby moms are doting parents. After about 3 or 4 months of pregnancy, they give birth to 1 or 2 babies in a nest. Newborns arrive with eyes open, ready to go. Within days, they're exploring with mom, sometimes clinging to her back on nighttime adventures. Here's a fun fact: they pee on their hands to leave scent trails on branches. Number 12. Colugo. Imagine a creature that looks like it's wearing a superhero cape, soaring gracefully from tree to tree. No, it's not a bird or bat, it's the colugo. People call it the flying lemur sometimes, but that's pretty misleading. First of all, it doesn't really fly, it just glides around amazingly using this membrane that stretches from its face to its tail. It acts like a parachute, letting the colugo glide huge distances between trees. And get this, it isn't even a lemur. Colugos are most active at night, so they're super elusive and mysterious. They hang out way up high in the treetops, so you'd be lucky to spot one just casually looking around. But if you ever see one, you'll be fascinated by its unique look. With its webbed feet and crazy gliding membrane, it's quite a sight. Of all the gliding mammals like flying squirrels, colugos are the best gliders. Their membrane is so big it even connects to their face and all 4 feet. It's like nature designed them with the ultimate gliding gear. Their teeth are shaped like little combs to groom their thick fur, and the mama colugos have amazing maternal instincts. She can turn her membrane into a pouch to cradle her baby while gliding. Number 11. AA. Imagine an animal that looks like a bizarre fusion of a raccoon and a rat, but it's neither. Nestled deep within the heart of the Madagascan rainforest, you'll find the AA. This creature isn't just any animal, it's a primate, specifically a lemur. And it's not just any lemur, it's one of the most captivating species on the planet. From its appearance to its food-finding techniques, the AA is a bundle of oddities. First off, let's talk about its looks. The AA's appearance is so unique that scientists have often scratched their heads about how to categorize it. With a body length of around 2 feet and a bushy tail even longer than that, it's already an intriguing sight, but the real showstopper? Its fingers. Long, thin, and equipped with hooked nails, the AA's fingers are its primary tool. The third finger, even thinner than the others, is specially designed to extract insects from tiny holes in trees. These creatures are tree dwellers, spending most of their lives high up in the canopy. They leap from tree to tree much like squirrels and rarely descend to the forest floor. Their nests, spherical constructions of leaves and branches, are masterpieces of architecture, often taking up to 24 hours to build. The AA uses echolocation, a skill most commonly associated with bats or dolphins. By tapping on trees with their elongated middle finger and listening for echoes, they can locate grubs and insects hiding inside. This method is so efficient that AAs fill a similar ecological niche as woodpeckers. Number 10. Superb bird of paradise. Imagine walking through a dense rainforest and suddenly you spot a bird performing a dance so unique it leaves you spellbound. That's the superb bird of paradise for you. This bird is not your average bird. Now, what makes this bird so special? Its mating ritual. The male superb bird of paradise clears the ground of any debris, making a stage for its performance. Then, with a loud call, he begins his dance, using his cape of feathers to create what looks like a massive blue smile against a dark backdrop. It's a sight so surreal you'd have to see it to believe it. This bird doesn't just hop, it transforms. But the dance isn't just for show. With males significantly outnumbering females, the competition is fierce. A female might reject up to 20 potential partners before choosing her mate. Appearance-wise, the male is a sight to behold. He's black with a shimmering green crown and a blue-green breast cover. The female, in contrast, sports brown and buff bars on her belly and chest, with the rest of her body being reddish-brown. These birds are not just about beauty and dance, they're also quite territorial and noisy. Number 9. Long-wattled umbrella bird. This odd animal is easily recognizable by the large, fleshy wattle hanging from its throat. This wattle may grow to be more than 13 inches in length. You're not alone if you have an image of this bird trying to drink without its wattle getting in the way. This wattle, though, isn't just for looks. In order to attract a partner, male umbrella birds will swing their wattles back and forth during the mating season. The dramatic effect is heightened by the way they fan out the umbrella-like crest atop their heads. However, the umbrella bird is more than just a pretty face. It's a tough cookie that can make its home anywhere from a swamp to the foothills of a mountain range. Intriguingly, these birds go higher into the mountains during the mating season, where they congregate in groups to search for a partner. They're not your standard long-distance cross-continental migrants. They are rather altitudinal migrants, constantly shifting their elevation range. Exactly what are they eating? An assortment of fruits, amphibians, and bugs. However, despite their exotic appearance and idyllic jungle dwellings, they actually lead quite dismal lives. Their numbers are decreasing mainly because their habitats are being destroyed. Number 8. Jerboa. The thought of a small mouse-like creature with ears so big they violate the laws of biology seems like something out of a fantastical tale. The jerboa is an unusual rodent. The jerboa's large ears are its most distinctive trait. These huge ears are for more than simply looking cool. They're essential for the animal to maintain a comfortable internal temperature, especially in the hot deserts where it lives. But that's not the end of the peculiarities. The jerboa's tail is twice as long as the rest of its body, which helps it maintain its stability while it runs and jumps. This creature has long rear legs and huge feet, making it possible for it to hop like a kangaroo. These legs are an evolutionary wonder, allowing the jerboa to quickly and easily escape danger. The jerboa comes out of its burrow to go hunting and foraging when the sun goes down and the temperature drops. What does it eat? Mostly insects in the air, which it nimbly snags. Many aspects of the jerboa, including its fascinating behaviors and fascinating look, are still shrouded in mystery. Scientists have a hard time studying it since it lives in very isolated environments. Number 7. Star-nosed mole. Envision coming across an animal whose head appears to have been invaded by a little octopus. That's the star-nosed mole. This strange creature with its 22 tentacle-like extensions extending out from its nose is more than simply a fascinating sight, natural beauty at its finest. You may be wondering what gives it such a bizarre nose. Okay, so it's not a gimmick. This mole has almost little vision. Therefore, it relies on its starry snout as a very sensitive sensory organ. Its star nose is continuously on the move as it digs into the muddy ground, contacting as many as 12 distinct areas in a single second. More than 100,000 nerve fibers relay information to its brain with every touch. The mole is hiding yet another surprise for you. It's one of just 2 species of marine life with a sense of smell. How? It does this by blowing out bubbles of air and then swiftly sucking them back in, therefore capturing aromas from the depths. And if you think fast eaters in food contests are impressive, the star-nosed mole could just blow them away. It consumes an insect or a worm in around a quarter of a second, making it the world's quickest eater. You can easily overlook it at dinner if you blink. Because of the low value of sight and its underground environment, the mole's sense of touch is developed to an exceptional degree. We're just beginning to comprehend the ways in which this animal uses its starry nose to travel, hunt, and interact with its surroundings. Number 6. Axolotl. Picture an underwater Pokemon-like creature that can heal its own wounds and develop new appendages. Doesn't that describe a science fiction story? The axolotl is a natural phenomenon that you must see to believe. The axolotl is an unusual amphibian that originated in Mexico. The axolotl is unique among amphibians in that it never changes into a terrestrial form and spends its whole existence in the water. Because of its peculiar ability, it's also known as the walking fish. It may look like a fish, but it's not. An amphibian that chooses to stay submerged. The axolotl's remarkable capacity for renewal is one of its most remarkable traits, not just a few inches of tail or a few fingers. Amazingly, this little creature can repair severely damaged organs, including its heart, lungs, and brain. Just picture yourself being able to regrow an amputated leg. The axolotl sees this as a normal day at the pond. What's more interesting is how they look. They appear like they walked right out of a fantasy story, what with their permanent grins and feathered fringed gills. Because of their porous and supple skin, they're able to draw oxygen from the water itself. What hue are they? Wild varieties with black patches are one extreme, while leucistic ones are quite white with pink undertones. However, the axolotl's tail is not entirely fantastical. These animals have reached an extremely precarious situation in the wild. Urbanization and water contamination pose a danger to their natural environment. There are current conservation initiatives, but time is of the essence. Number 5. Pink Fairy Armadillo. Imagine stumbling upon a creature that looks like it leaped straight out of a whimsical fairy tale. With its bubblegum pink armor and fluffy white fur, that's the Pink Fairy Armadillo. This tiny marvel with its enchanting name is as mystifying as it sounds. The Pink Fairy Armadillo is the tiniest member of the armadillo clan. It's only about 5 to 6 inches long, roughly the size of a hamster. But don't let its diminutive size fool you. This little critter is packed with peculiarities. Its standout features: a vibrant pink shell, which is not just for show. This armored carapace is flexible, almost separate from its body, a unique trait among armadillos. Beneath this shell, the armadillo sports a coat of soft, white fur, making it look like it's wearing a fancy fur-trimmed cloak. This armadillo is a master of hide-and-seek. It spends most of its life underground, only making rare appearances above the surface, usually after a desert rain. This elusive nature has made it a challenge for researchers. Some folks who've lived their entire lives near its habitat might have only seen it once or twice. Imagine living near a creature so mysterious that even dedicated researchers can spend years without spotting one. However, life isn't all fairy tales for this armadillo. Its conservation status? A puzzle just like the creature itself. It was once listed as near threatened, but due to the scanty data, it's now labeled as data deficient. Number 4. Pangolin. Ever heard of a creature that's part knight, part anteater, and entirely unique? Enter the pangolin, a peculiar mammal that's armored with hard scales, making it look like it's wearing a medieval suit of armor. But instead of jousting in tournaments, this creature has a different strategy when faced with danger. It rolls up into a protective ball, shielding itself with its razor-sharp scales. Now let's dive a bit deeper. Pangolins, found across Asia and Africa, aren't just about their scales. They have tiny heads, elongated snouts, and tongues that can stretch out longer than their bodies. These long tongues aren't for show, they're expertly designed for slurping up ants and termites from deep within nests. Some even call them scaly anteaters because of this. Their tails are another marvel. Just like their bodies, these tails are armored with scales. Certain pangolin species use these robust tails to hang from trees, almost like a fifth limb, effortlessly supporting their entire weight. There are 8 species in total, 4 reside in Asia, and the other 4 call Africa home. But, and this is a big but every single one of these species is under threat. Why? Humans. Pangolins are hunted for their meat, their scales are used in traditional medicine, and some even fashion them into accessories. This has led to a tragic title for the pangolin, the most trafficked animal globally. Number 3. Dumbo octopus. Let's embark on a whimsical journey into the deep blue where the Dumbo octopus, an enchanting creature, resides. Picture this, an octopus, but with ears. Not actual ears, but fins. These aren't just for aesthetics. They're functional, helping this little marvel navigate the vast ocean. Now, forget the typical octopus image you have in mind. The Dumbo octopus is a delightful anomaly with its bell-shaped body, pale complexion, and short arms. It's like the ocean's teddy bear, but its habitat? The deep, dark, and cold parts of the ocean where sunlight is a luxury. Some have been spotted at a jaw-dropping depth of 13,000 feet. Unlike its octopus cousins, the Dumbo doesn't squirt ink, doesn't need to. Its unique appearance and the pitch-black surroundings provide ample camouflage from predators. And here's a fun tidbit, its blood is blue. Thanks to the high copper content, it efficiently circulates oxygen in the chilly deep-sea environment, and it has not 1, not 2, but 3 hearts. In 2016, a new species of this octopus was discovered, aptly named the Emperor Dumbo. While most are around 8 inches long, the largest ever found was an astonishing 5 feet 10 inches. But the most fascinating fact? The Dumbo octopus is almost always pregnant. With a lifespan of 3 to 5 years, they mate early. Females store the sperm and decide when to fertilize their eggs, ensuring a higher chance of reproductive success. Number 2. Sarcastic fringehead. Dive into the waters of the Pacific and you might just stumble upon a fish with an attitude. The sarcastic fringehead, a name as quirky as its behavior, is a spectacle to behold. This small fish, reaching barely a foot in length, has a secret weapon. When threatened or during territorial disputes, it flares its enormous mouth, revealing a startling array of colors. This dramatic display is not just for show. 2 males might engage in what can only be described as a lip-locking contest. Pressing their open mouths together in a bizarre dance of dominance, the one with the bigger mouth usually wins. But the oddities don't stop there. The fringe-like tentacles above its eyes give it a somewhat sarcastic look, leading to its unique name. Despite its fierce demeanor, the sarcastic fringehead poses no threat to humans. Number 1. Barrel-eye fish. Imagine a fish that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie with a transparent head and tubular eyes. Meet the barrel-eye fish, a mysterious deep-sea dweller that's as fascinating as it is bizarre. Now you might be wondering, why the transparent head? Well, it's not just for show. This unique feature allows the barrel eye to look up through its skull, scanning for prey above. Those peculiar tubular eyes? They're not fixed in place. They can rotate, allowing the fish to look in multiple directions, forward, sideways, and upwards. This gives the barrel eye a significant advantage in the pitch-black depths of the ocean, where every glimmer of light could indicate a potential meal or a lurking predator. Speaking of its eyes, they're not the only thing that's unusual. At first glance, you might mistake its eyes for a brain because of their greenish hue. And those structures that look like eyes, they're actually the fish's nostrils. The barrel eye doesn't just rely on its eyes for survival. It has large, flat fins that allow it to remain almost motionless in the water, conserving energy. When it spots a meal, like a jellyfish or a small crustacean, it can swiftly move in for the kill. Its small mouth ensures it only targets prey it can handle, and its unique eye structure structure helps it detect the faintest glows in the deep sea. By the way, have you ever seen this animal? It's a marten, and despite its cute appearance, it's extremely dangerous. If you want to learn more about it, check out this video: 15 cute animals that are extremely dangerous.